Today by the CS National Treasury, who has paid us a courtesy call at the Commission. And in that process, we were able to engage on various issues that are important for our country and how we are going to collaborate. So my role today here is, first of all, to introduce our chairperson, Dr. David Oginde,
who had actually made a request to pay a courtesy call with us here, and we have had a great time of engagement, just hearing what they are doing as Treasury in terms of streamlining how the resources of our country are utilized and ensuring that all the loopholes that people have taken advantage of to pilfer our resources are sealed, and how we can collaborate in the same. Corruption, as you know, is a very serious problem in our country, especially in the recent past. You have carried stories of capitation that has gone to schools that do not exist, while students that actually do exist have no money, and schools had to even close early. We have heard of hospitals that are being paid share money, and yet they do not even exist. They have no patients. We have actually done our own investigations here, and we had a classic example of a hospital in Italy that was receiving a lot of NHIF refunds, and only for our team to go there and find that it was a small room upstairs somewhere where you have to climb on a spiral staircase. That's how audacious people in this country are. And so unless we do something, this can continue and totally deplete the resources that are taken from our taxpayers that goes to people who have positioned themselves to privatize these resources. And so for us as a commission, we have positioned ourselves to try and stop this process through prevention, and also to bring to book any individuals who are found to be culpable in this particular area. And as you know, there are efforts towards that. But fight against corruption is not a single entity or a single individual effort. It requires collaborations from different sectors. Especially in government, it should be a whole government approach. And so when the CS asked that he would want to come and discuss ways and means through which we can work together, for us that has been great news. And we have talked. He has shared with us some of the reforms that they are undertaking, and he will elaborate on some of those when he takes his time. But it has been very, very encouraging to hear some of the things that they are putting in place in order for them to seal those loopholes that people have been taking advantage of. And we too have presented some of the challenges that we have been facing, and the CS has given us assurance, particularly in the area of budgetary allocation, the resources that we need in order for us to effectively prevent and combat corruption. We believe that if we are given a little more resources, we can be more effective than we are today. And that is something that the CS has promised that he's going to look into, and many other things that we believe if we assisted, we can do a better job. So just to let you know that this was a courtesy call. He was not invited here in the normal way we invite people here. We were just meeting together to see how we can collaborate to take this nation to where it ought to go. Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to invite the CS.
That we are together in partnership in this assignment that the people of Kenya have given us to work towards making sure that the resources that they give us through the taxes that they pay, and after sweating so much, are utilized prudently, efficiently, and effectively in service delivery to the people of Kenya. I actually mentioned when we met with the chair, and we have shared extensively with the Commission, that it is reported, and that was said by former President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, that we lose on average 2 billion per day. And that is quite significant amount of money that if it was put to proper use, it would make a huge difference in terms of providing services to the people of Kenya. And so, fighting corruption is not just morally and legally important, but it is equally so important for us who sit at the Treasury. And since I head the Treasury, it's important that we deal with the corruption, because we have a fiscal space that is shrinking by the day. And again, also, we have clients, a population of this country, who are calling for more accountability and transparency. So I thought it was important that I come to the EACC offices, sit together with our commission, and discuss a few things. One is to discuss on those areas of reforms that the National Treasury is carrying out to help make the work of EACC easy. If you listened to my speech during the budget day, it was not heavy on the usuals, on the talk about taxation, on the talks about issues that we are used to, but I came with a little bit different trajectory where I actually emphasized on reforms that would make it difficult for us in losing public resources. One of the areas of reforms which I came here to brief the Commission on is on the area of EGP, the system that we have just rolled out that will ensure that we streamline our procurement processes so that we curb and reduce drastically, if not eliminate, corruption in procurement process, which has been flagged out as the major area of concern. The other issue also that we have pointed out and where reforms have been carried out is the issue of accounting. That is, we are moving away from cash basis of accounting to accrual basis of accounting. This will help us in managing our public assets better, that we will now be able to have correct picture of the assets that the government of Kenya owns through the national government and its institutions, and including the county governments, the value of the same. And I was just telling the chairman here that sometimes you find difficulty when you recover public asset. You don't even know the value of that public asset. You either resort to guesswork, or you again spend money at that stage and go through a process to determine the value. And even to know how much in terms of liability that this country has, that will be sorted out using the accrual basis of accounting. The other area is the zero-based budgeting. We have complained in this country that the pricing of common user commodities in the country is completely out of the mark, distorted and out of the mark. Why? You find in the same government offices, one purchasing the same item at a different price from the other, and yet they are even in the same locality. That should be addressed, and we have the zero-based budgeting is going to help in addressing some of those concerns. The other area that I need to also point out is the area of Treasury single account. That the country that this country, at some point, we do not even know how much we have in terms of cash balances in our accounts. So we want to have a system where we know where our money sits. And you find sometimes we end up, and actually a lot of times, we borrow our own money without knowing that we are borrowing our own money. Something else that I also want to mention is the reforms that we are carrying out in terms of integrating the payroll system. I think this may be news to some of you, but we are at advanced stage. Actually, we wanted to start from this month to integrate our payroll system in the IFMIS. And that, there was just slight delay, but we have committed ourselves that month of August, all MDAs, all ministries, departments, and agencies, and county assemblies will all be onboarded, and you will only be paid salary through this integrated system. This will cure the problem of ghost workers existing in our payrolls, and it will also help solve the problem of having multiple payrolls. It would also help in sorting out the mess that we have been in for years of employers paying part of salary and retaining part in the name that there are statutory deductions or deductions going to SACCOs or other deductions. This will be resolved because it amounts to illegal borrowing from employees. And for county executives, there is a slight delay, but I have clearly communicated to my team that they must also be onboarded. We will not entertain excuses that is still they are not ready. We will not entertain that. Because again, that is actually the biggest culprit when it comes to multiple payrolls are the counties, and we are going to deal with that. The second last area of reform is on the pension sector, where we are also again bringing, automating and integrating the payroll system. I am happy that at least we have made some very good progress. Now we are paying pension. In fact, by June we paid pensions, monthly pension on the 22nd of June. This month we have paid pension on the 26th. Previously, pension used to be paid into the next month. And that must be a thing of the past. These Kenyans who have worked diligently and have retired from this public service must get their pension in time to be able to meet their daily expenses. Even the lump sum pensions, I am happy to report that I think in a long period of time, we managed to pay 97% of all the claims that were at the National Treasury. So we want to eliminate this talk and the discussion that once you retire, you have to make several trips to Nairobi to get your pension paid. And any corruption in that department, we have discussed with the EACC, will be dealt with decisively, and those who are responsible must be not only disengaged with the government, but will have to face the full force of the law. Allow me to near conclusion by just pointing out, no, but before I conclude, I was just forgetting the last one. The last reform, today we witnessed a major stride, and we were at State House with the chairman here and the CEO, witnessing assent, presidential assent, to the conflict of interest bill. This bill has been in the works for over 27 months. I'm happy that now we have seen the birth of this act. It is now an act of parliament, and it is going to help make the work of the commission even easier. So allow me to near a conclusion by just saying that we also discussed with the commission how we can help them, how we can facilitate their work. This is an independent commission, but we are partners in the fight against corruption. What National Treasury can do is just to support, give them the capacity in terms of resource allocation. And I know we have constrained fiscal space, but within that constrained fiscal space, we will not shy away from indulging EACC and giving a little bit more support so that they become even more efficient in ensuring that they follow the money that Kenyans may lose. By the way, we will be the net beneficiaries. And I am happy that the Commission has confirmed today that in a long period of time, probably this is the first year that they got 100% of the allocation transferred to them from the National Treasury to be able to meet their budget. And I conclude by saying that we will support. I know there are issues of vehicles, there are issues of personnel. They have only 700 in-post staff against 1,500. We will see what we can do to help give more capacity to EACC, as we also give capacity to other critical organs in the fight against corruption, one of them being Controller of Budget, Office of the Auditor General, and of course the judiciary, which we have been supporting very much to help us in this fight. Otherwise, I want to end there, and again thank you, the people from ladies and gentlemen from the Fourth Estate, and that is the end of our press this afternoon. Maybe one or